Let's talk about the real cost of getting your VGEC claim wrong. First of all, let's talk about the numbers. So what we see is studios are often focusing on the value of the credit that they're going to get back, but they don't think about necessarily the cost of losing that credit, which is possible under VGEC. So obviously VGEC credits can be worth hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of pounds per project. So the cost of getting it wrong isn't just about losing the credit, it's also the cost of fixing it too, to make sure that you don't actually lose that credit. So specialist fees to resolve a rejected or a queried claim are of course significantly higher than just getting it right the first time. So it's really important here to think about how do we preemptively plan to get this right from the outset. So thinking about the direct financial impact that avoided claim could have. So under VGEC, which didn't happen under VGTR, you can lose the entire credit for that project. If you have incorrectly recharged your connected party costs, the profit element of that can be stripped out. And this can affect not just the one project that the HMRC are looking at, it could affect multiple projects simultaneously if you're running a multi-game studio. And if HMRC start to look into prior year claims, then that exposure really goes very quickly and the stress is phenomenal. So when we're talking about the hidden costs around HMRC inquiries, these are a few things that we don't really talk about. So obviously the management time. So HMRC inquiries are super time consuming, completely distracting for management. There's a lot of information that HMRC will request and time will be spent finding that information and making sure it's fit for purpose. Potentially legal costs. So some of the complex inquiries could require specialist legal support as well as specialist accounting support. And of course, if you have a delayed credit, that's going to really affect your runway. You might be relying on these credits to fund your studio for X number of months. And if that's delayed by 6 or 12 months, which can happen easily, then that's a serious amount of stress that you're going to be carrying. You as the finance team or you as the founder is quite significant. So thinking about the cost of a specialist versus the cost of getting it wrong. So we can offer a health check, which is basically a fraction of the cost of what's at stake here, which runs through your current foundations around your legal contracts, making sure that they're fit for purpose, they're in place, they're valid, and month rates are adequate, your connected parties are sound, they're at arm's length, just making sure that the foundations are correct and that the numbers are computing properly around the man-month rate. So the message for me to you is that it really does make more financial sense to get help from the outset instead of when it gets caught by HMRC, which sadly is getting more and more common under VGEC, which wasn't so common under VGTR, but we're seeing it much more now under VGEC. So the health check would just would give you a clear picture of where you stand. Make sure everything's in good shape. Make sure that HMRC isn't going to uncover something that you might not have even known was needed, and just let you go in with some confidence with your filing rather than this awful feeling of uncertainty about not knowing what you don't know, which is a really uncomfortable place to be in when you've got claims this size at risk. So seeing what happens when claims go wrong, unfortunately, the financial hit's real and the time and the stress it takes to resolve is massive. So if you do have any doubt in your mind about it, just reach out and we can have a chat. And that would be way more preferential than waiting until HMRC get their hands on it.